You've been thinking about it for weeks, maybe months. You've Googled coaches, read the testimonials, hovered over the book a call button and then closed the tab. Because deep down, there's one question you can't quite shake. What actually happens in that first session? Will you know what to say? Will you say something wrong? Will the coach just sit there, nod and tell you what to do? Today I'm pulling the curtain back. No fluff, no mystery, just the honest, behind the scenes truth about what your first life coaching session really looks like, especially with myself, and why it might be one of the most important hours you've ever spent on yourself. If you're sitting on the fence right now, I want you to know that hesitation is not a flaw, it's not a weakness, it's actually a sign that you're taking this seriously. You should. Coaching is personal. It asks you to be honest, to be open, to look at things you might have been carefully avoiding for years. So, of course, it feels daunting. The high achievers I work with, successful, capable, often the people others rely on, they walk into that first session with the same nerves you're feeling. They're worried about saying the wrong thing, worried about being judged, worried that maybe they're not bad enough to need coaching, or that they're too much of a mess to be helped. None of that is true. Coaching isn't a verdict on where you've been. It's an invitation to where you could go. Here's the biggest misconception I need to clear up before we go any further. People think coaching is consultation or mentoring. They think I'm going to listen for 40 minutes, hand them a tidy roadmap and send them off with their problem solved. That's not coaching. Consultants and mentors give answers, coaches ask questions. The first session isn't me telling you what to do. It's the two of us starting an exploration. I'm getting to know you, your goals, your patterns, what's pulling you forward, what's holding you back. You're getting to know how this relationship is going to work. Think of it less like a doctor's appointment and more like the opening chapter of a story you and I are about to write together. Carl Jung said it best. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. That right there is at the heart of what coaching does. We bring the patterns running silently in the background up to the surface, so you can finally choose differently. So let me walk you through step by step what your first session with me actually looks like. Here are the 5 things you can expect. 1. The comfortable opener. The first thing I do before any goal setting, before any deep questions, is help you feel at ease. We might chat about your morning, how your weekend went, the traffic, anything. It sounds simple, but it's actually foundational. Coaching only works when there's trust. And trust only develops when you feel comfortable enough to be honest. So the first few minutes are deliberate. We're warming up the room. 2, the big picture goal. Within the first 20 to 25 minutes, I'll ask you something like, what is it that you're looking to achieve in the next 6 months? This isn't a trick question, there's no right answer. But it gives us something to aim at, a target to anchor everything else to. We'll spend 10 or 15 minutes here exploring it with open questions. You might surprise yourself with what comes out. 3, the session goal. Once we know where you want to be in 6 months, we narrow the focus. What would you like to get out of today's session that moves you closer to that goal? This is what makes the time feel purposeful. We're not drifting, we're not just chatting. Every minute from this point on is in service of something specific you've chosen. 4, the emotional space now. What if you get emotional? Honestly, it happens. Often, I've had clients arrive guarded and stressed. In one session, I paused everything and led the client through 60 seconds of meditative breathing. That tiny pause turned into one of the most productive sessions we ever had. Some clients cry from joy, a light bulb moment, the first real glimpse that things can change. Others cry from regret, from grief for time lost. Whatever shows up, I hold that space with you. These are thoughts and feelings that may not have seen the light of day before. Bringing them forward is part of the work, not a detour from it. Maya Angelou wrote, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. The first coaching session is often the first time someone actually puts that story into words out loud. That's not a breakdown, that's a breakthrough. And 5, the micro challenge. Towards the end, we land on something concrete you can take away. A strategy, a small action, a reframe to practice during the week. The point is momentum. You don't leave the session with just a warm feeling. You leave with something already moving, something to come back and report on next time. There's one more thing worth being clear about, because it's where so many people get tangled up. Coaching and therapy share some of the same skills: deep listening, powerful questions, genuine care. But they point in different directions. Therapy looks backwards, it heals, processes the past. Coaching looks forwards, it builds, it moves you towards what's next. When I speak with potential clients, I listen carefully. If someone keeps returning to the past, no matter how I direct the conversation forward, now that's a signal they may benefit from therapy first, before coaching can be truly effective. I'll always be honest about that, because the most important thing isn't that you work with me, it's that you get the right support for where you actually are. So here's my challenge for you this week. I'm not going to ask you to book a coaching session. I'm going to ask for something smaller, but more important. Take 20 minutes, phone down, no distractions, and answer one question on paper. What would I like my life to look like in 6 months that it doesn't look like today? Don't filter it, don't edit it, don't worry if it's realistic. Just write. That single exercise is the start of everything coaching does. And when you've done it, drop a word in the comments, just one, that captures how that exercise made you feel. Surprised, hopeful, stuck, clearer. I read every comment. Now, if this video helped take some of the mystery out of that first session, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, share it with someone who's been hovering over that book a call button for too long. And remember, the things that genuinely change your life are often things that ask you to jump in with both feet. This is one of them. Until next time, I'm Dr. Rakish Rana, the Clear Coach.